What's going on, guys? Kami here, coming at you with another Coach Kami. This one's going to be from Shash Ketchum. If anybody's ever been around in any of my streams, you know who Shash Ketchum is. If you don't, shame on you. He's going to be playing Torvald. Remember, if you guys are interested in submitting your own gameplay, be a sub to me on Twitch, be a patron, and if you're not either of those, type a comment in YouTube. Let me know what champion you'd want to be coached on, and, I don't know, like, a way to contact you through Discord or Twitter. Let's move into the gameplay. Again, this is Torvald. This is going to be on Stone Keep, running Field Study. I mean, like, is there any other legendary? Let's be real here. Also, take note, this is prior to OB61 nerf with the damage drop-off. Starting off with Kronos, I think it's a staple for him. It gives him survivability and more times to silence and shield opponent, or shield your teammates. Giving movement speed while they're getting the protection. It's legit. Nullify, generating 3 ammo. Boost a cooldown of Nullify. Increase maximum health, and I'm assuming the last one is going to be the protection cooldown, and it is. It's a legit loadout. Not much to say about that. So he's starting off going over here on the left side, and I like this. You've got the shield. I wish more people would be coming right now because it is going to be a 5v3, but I like this because you have the ability to shield people. You have another shield you can hide behind. You have a lot of good damage, and you actually force him to pull out. Attempting to shield that Lex, but the Lex was just in a little bit in a sketchy situation. Right now, you have your recharge up. I want to see you use your recharge instead of a Nullify. You were able to get that. I want to make sure to use that as much as possible. This is kind of the Lex fault for just overextending. It happens. Try to get that Lex to die, or try to get that Ashe to die. I was going to say make sure you stand in front of her dash to make sure that she gets shut down by that, so she can't dash out for free. You're getting kind of pushed in here by both people, and you're going to end up dropping. So you can definitely take into account that this team is very aggressive, and they make sure to finish off their kills, and you can use that as kind of an advantage. If you would have backed off there a little bit, you would have had a little bit more cover to do. Would have been good for you. I found Shash. I think I recorded this a while ago and couldn't find him. That was a good silence right there, and a good walk in front of the Ashe to make sure that the shield doesn't, or make sure that the dash doesn't go anywhere. Looks like you guys are starting to establish dominance on there. That Genos isn't on a mount. He's not cheating. Play cool. He's just a spectator glitch. Right now, you have your recharge up. You're going to want to use it as much as possible. And keep in mind, when you're recharging, that's his, thing that recharges the shield, you can use your protection ability while doing it. This is a little bit of a tidbit, too. Maybe something that people didn't know. Lex is super chill. No. If you start a reload, then start to nullify someone, at the end of the nullify, you'll be done with the reload. It doesn't interrupt the reload animation. It just kind of lets it finish as it's doing it. Bug? I don't know. Abuse it? I mean, some things like that in games where it's just like a little bit of a glitch, or, think of Super Smash Bros. Melee. The game is made off of things that aren't supposed to work, but they do work, and that makes the game what it is. All that tech. So it's a little bit of a tech. Saying right out of the range of the Grumpy Bomb was good, but you're going to want to try to get it back on point. You have your recharge available. You're going to want to try to find somebody. I think that Pip would have been an okay to take one of those shots not being hit so hard. Pretty much would have negated the entire shot from the Androxus. Right now, the Fernando wasn't able to get on point. He couldn't do much, a lot of ults that they had on their time, and they had the majority of the point once they pushed back in.
I feel stronger here.
So you're just kind of trying to zone him out. Now be careful right now because you know he's over there. Well, now you see the Grumpy Bomb coming. You're kind of setting yourself up to be able to get shot here on the left side. And you also need to take note that this stun's going to completely bone you. But you are playing a little bit more aggressively and going around. Instead of going back, you're going back around. Don't know if you're going to be able to make it. You do make it. So the risk paid off. Get your recharge up. Use that as best as possible. Hey, he heard me. Right now, great poke damage on them right there. And a good job at realizing that you're outnumbered, so you got to back up. A little bit of lag there. Oh, no way. Shash lagging? That's crazy. You see that Andrew flanking? Good shield on the Lex. Make sure you can help out. Yes, I was going to say recharge. Hiding behind that corner like that is so good because you're kind of out of the field of view of the Bomb King when he comes out, and you're going to leave yourself available to shield anybody that you need to. You don't actually even need to shield anybody. I'd say get ready to shield that Fernando if his shield drops, and if not, look for someone else that's getting shot at. Legit shield on Pip. Silencing prior to that, I like that because you were trying to silence to avoid the shield charge away, or her charge away, but she had her ultimate, which kind of sucks. But you can silence a Ashe mid ult with Torvald and eliminate that. Another note is that you see the Grumpy up, and you've had a good like 2 or 3 seconds. Let's right now. You have like your recharge up. You're at 0, and you're just kind of firing. Right when you see that Grumpy Bomb getting thrown out, I would have started your recharge now, and you would have been able to get off the majority of it. Maybe you would have stayed alive, but you were kind of in the middle of a bunch of people. Do you love dying and seeing a Fernando ult right after it? Feels bad, man. So pushing on the Bomb King, legit. I maybe would have left-clicked a little bit more before silencing. And also keep in mind that I believe when you right-click them, he can still throw bombs on you. So if your shield is down, he can stack them all up and then blow them once the silence gets done. You have your ultimate available. I'm sure you're getting ready for a big ultimate. You're just waiting for him to be a little bit more aggressive. There's a good shield onto the Lex right as he's going in for the flank, and that was a really good ultimate there, getting a couple of them off the map. Good timing, too, because it's about 15 seconds. It's going to be really hard for them to get back on the point. I don't see them being able to do that. But it is Stone Keep, and anything's possible on Stone Keep. Keeping the pressure on those people up at the top allows them not to push in. Healer just went down. No way they're going to be pushing this. Or at least being successful on the push. I can't imagine this going well. Unless they get a pick early on, you have way more numbers in them. Careful there, you got your recharge out. Please use it.
See what happens when we put our heads together?
So keeping that recharge, doing it as soon as possible, as long as it is getting used to the best potential, you know, especially when it's at 0 shield, obviously. That's when you're going to use it, and the faster you use it, the faster you can have it back up. I do notice when I watch my own gameplay, there's tons of times that I'm looking at cooldowns and I'm like, use them! And it's a difference between 1-2 seconds, or sometimes it's like more than that, but even a second waiting and be like, oh crap, I have recharge up, I didn't notice that. Torvald is a very cooldown heavy champion. That's why I said Chronos is so good. So making sure that you're using them and taking advantage of your Chronos as much as possible to make sure that your item choice is not getting thrown out into the dumpster. I'll stop harping on that so much because, again, it's sometimes hard to notice in the heat of battle, and 2, I do the same thing. Oh my god, he's running Demolition. Quite honestly, right now that I'm thinking about this, you have your Chronos too. It's like, what items do you buy next? Well, Cauterize isn't really being picked up too much. Right now, your only Cauterizer is your Lex and your Fernando, and the Fernando also has his Q. Well, if he has Brand, but whatever. So over here, we've got Haven with Tinker, and we've got Blast Shield and Resilience, I guess, but Resilience might become even more popular or important for you because once that shield goes down from the Grumpy Bomb, you're going to want to get out as fast as possible instead of it just doing a flat 800 damage. Haven, and Blast. So there's 2 Blasts and 3 Haven. I would take Haven over Blast, and then I would take Resilience over Haven. The knockbacks from the Ash and the Grumpy Bomb just being so brutal, he's just literally focusing on you, and you can shut down his whole legendary card just from one item. Honestly, I'd pick up Cauterize first, because the Grumpy Bomb not being quick as it normally is, who cares? The Genos does have Celestial Touch, so I think Cauterize is going to be your next choice. Again, going left side good here. The Fernando going straight to point, what that means is you're going to want to like distract them, but you're getting free points. And that's the thing, is when people rush to a side, if you see someone on point, that means you have technically the advantage. If you let them run through and kill you, then you're boned because the person on point did absolutely nothing. But if you do well and you kind of chip at them, they may do a lot of damage, but if you get out and then you can use the point as control, you're a little bit of a disadvantage because they'll have the high ground, but in general it's still a 5v5, and that whole time they were repositioning up there and trying to turn the target to the point, you're at like 25-30%. Now that can mean nothing in the end when you guys just get wiped, but so it's definitely something to keep track of. Like right now, the Fernando is doing absolutely nothing. He's getting a little bit of damage from the Barrack, but you're at 18% already. Right when that Androx's ult goes out, you want to make sure to turn around and look to see if anybody's there to shield, and make sure to have your recharge ready as fast as possible. Again, recharge right away. Very good. I love it. That Barrack needs to die now. I think you were trying to silence him, but you ended up accidentally silencing the Androx. A little bit of split targeting there, but, you know, finding the kill on the Barrack. So close. Good job at prioritizing the recharge over it, just keeping yourself alive a little bit more. That Shaolin was able to get in there and to get the kill. And now Torvald's back to ruin someone's day. You almost have your ultimate up, so what you're going to want to do is try to position yourself right over here, if possible. Get a little bit aggressive once you kill this Barrack, and get ready for an ult off the map. You're going to want to stay on him as much as possible. Just get him down while he's in his ult. It's definitely going to be worth it. Great ult. And there goes the shield. And sadly, no one on the point to help really help you out. Your ult is available, and you could ult her out, but the ult just ended, so I'd hang on to it for a little bit. And maybe shield your Fernando. He's gonna be taking some front damage right now. His shield is up now, and the shield on the pip was actually a lot better. That ult right there, don't know if it was really worth it. You probably won't be able to get out of the Grumpy Bomb. That's fine. I don't know if the ult was ready right away. You're just trying to get this overtime off, and the timing didn't really line up very well. But I like that you saved your recharge after the Grumpy Bomb went off, because if you recharged prior, it would just eliminate it. It would have been kind of silly. But the recharge going on right after that.
Together we are strong. Fire. Impenetrable.
Or when a shield on the Fernando. There it is. Do not let yourself get hit by that Grumpy Bomb. That just eliminates that shield. Now you're going to look at that Androxus. You got knocked away and you want to get to the point, but you have a little bit of time. If you would have looked at the Androxus, you might have been able to put a couple bolts into his butt. Would have helped out a lot and made it even easier to kill him as he was jumping up and going for an ult. He's very, very low. So that ult, I think, scared away people enough to where they couldn't get on the point, and you get dropped. So it's like you are going to go with Calories. Very, very good. Very good. 34% ults. Can't really do much, but if you did have ults, you probably want to take the left route and go in for a flank ult as the payload's going around the corner. You want to use your recharge as soon as possible. As this gets done, you want to have your recharge up and down. Recharge now. Double kill.
I will pass judgment. Thank you, healer.
Is this the end?
Still 0 armor. There it is. I'm gonna probably silence him like right about now. I'm sure someone else can be back here, or they'll be able to get taken out just by the silence kill, but that works. I think a good spot for Torvald is going to be around where you are, where you were spamming earlier is a really good spot because you can just spam that for days. Another spot too for Torvald is honestly up on the high ground, maybe right up the upper area where they can go in. I can't really. I'll try to point it out once you get up there. Up there could be a pretty good spot, and the Fernando's going to be down here doing what he needs to do, right? But spamming out this area and making sure that they don't come out of this area. I think being up here, looking down here, and then spamming down this area just to make sure they don't come out for free, it's going to be really helpful for your team. You got your recharge available. You want to use that ASAP. That was a really good shield on that Lex as he was sliding in. Almost allowed him to pick off a person, but the Lex shouldn't have been sliding in the first place.
Enemies are firing on me.
You are getting very close to your ultimate. It's at 81%.
Together.
If you can get a little bit more chip damage, I would consider trying to go around the left side to get a little bit of to get an ult off. You could just wait for them to push in through the choke, though. That would be fine. But getting your ult off sooner than later would help out because you'd have time to recharge it for the next fight.
I feel stronger. I'm low. I could use a heal.
Here's the catalyst.
And there's that sexy ult.
30 seconds remaining.
It's a good pick there. Now it's a 4v5 situation. You do not need to ult yet, but they may choose to ult here in a second.
Enemy killing spree.
And so the question is, do you ult before they ult? Do you wait till they ult? So what you do is you do the recharge. There it is. I think it's a good choice. They're backing off from the barrack. There's no really reason to sit there and take that free damage. And now it is a 3v5.
3, 2.
Should be able to have this pretty easily. Drox is hiding up there, healing up, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it out in time to be able to pull off the overtime. He maybe could have. I don't know if his dash was up, but he didn't do it. And there goes that Lex down again. Avenged. All right, Cauterize 2 online, ready for the Chev. We're going to do the same thing over here on the left side, and you have your whole team with you. So now that you see your whole team's there, be super aggressive. You can definitely be super aggressive here. I like that you, like, when I say be super aggressive, I mean, like, be smartly super aggressive. And that's what you're doing, is you were ready, you were inside their shield, but when you saw that Grumpy Bomb, and then you saw the Fernando shield up, some people will be like, hey, trust that Fernando, he'll be able to have a shield up, but you don't know. You know, the other team has a Wrecker. That shield goes down right when the Grumpy Bomb goes out. That's all of your shield gone. It's not fun. You have your recharge available. It's a good job at using that right there. You have the advantage, so you want to be able to push, but you don't want to get too aggressive to be able to get dropped. There's no, you have the numbers, so if you want to play the, the slow and steady route, you're going to win it out. It's a good shield on the Fernando. The barrack is very low, so you can start pushing in right now. Get the high ground, be able to keep the angle so you can shoot over the shield. This is the time that you're going to want to start poking and doing a lot of prodding. It's good silence onto him to help the Lex get the kill, and that Geno should drop here in a minute.
Together we are strong.
Again, your recharge is up. You'll probably want to use that ASAP.
Killing spree. Enemy killing spree.
It's a good job avoiding that.
Enemy killing spree.
The big kill from that Shaolin.
Come on, let's fight.
Good silence on that Ash ult, but I don't think anyone's there's enough to do the damage. Okay, so time to ult. Like, literally, make sure that you don't ult right now, because that shield might get dropped right after the Grumpy Bomb goes off. But what I would do right now, just to guarantee that you're good, is you want to recharge right now, and then ult. Ult right now. That's such a prime time to ult. It's not really going to kill anything, but it's going to do two things. One, it's going to get that Ash out of her ult, and it's going to force her to either shoulder dash back into the ult, which she'll probably miss or whatever, or she'll just be out of the fight. And it just kind of disrupts the whole push, Because when they push and they get that presence, they go, let's go, and they're just charging. And if you just break all that crap up, it's so hard to kind of just shake it off and go, okay, keep pushing. And it helps your team out a lot to get back on point, to get good positions. Right now, you've already lost. If you would have pushed them off, you would have maybe allowed some people to push in a little bit harder to get a kill quicker. There comes the ult out. Right there, you were pretty much like forced to. The ult didn't really do what you wanted it to do, is because you started ult and then you saw the Ash was low and you just kind of started to pound your ult into the Ash just to get the damage for the kill, which I think is fine in that circumstance, but that's just not what you want the ult to do in the long run. Unlucky going back in onto the point while your shield was recharging. Keep in mind that Grumpy Bomb will destroy it, but you had to do it because you wanted to make sure that overtime proc. But it was a good retake by your team. I think you guys should easily be able to do it. You want to start pushing out right now. Good shield on that Lex, but being able to block that Ash would have been really good.
Enemy rampage.
We weren't able to get that.
Killing spree. Uh-oh, double.
Be careful about those Grumpy Bombs.
Push the payload. Defend the payload.
Hope you guys are happy. I have an EV announcer. It's beautiful. She's beautiful. A good silence. Oh no, he got away. But it was a good silence out of the barrack. If you had a little bit more DPS from your team, you would have been able to drop him. Oof, there's a Shash lag that we all know and love.
Step into the light.
Geno's ult is down. Time is to push. You have your ult available, so you're going to want to be able to push in through this left side, and that's what you're doing right now. That's what you want to do. You want to hold this left side. You want to say, this is my side. Use your shield right now. Stay alive. Never mind. Just kidding. LOL, JK, XD. So you start to go for resilience. I think that's good. The Grumpy Bomb eliminates your shield. You want to make sure that you get out of that as soon as possible so you don't get too boned. I probably would have started off with some left clicks there, because you didn't know if the dashes were up. So the left clicks, I think at that angle would have hit them. Although the reversal might have just sucked it up. You never know, but definitely could have saved those silences for when you want to try to secure a kill.
See what happens when we put our heads together?
You could also wait for the dash to go out, and once the dash goes out, just do like a 360 and spam right click and pray that you get it, because that'll interrupt the rest of his dashes. It's a good kill there. You want to use your shield as fast as possible. The lag is real.
Enemy kill. Come on, let's fight.
That hurts my soul. That literally hurts my soul. I love your attempt to try to ult this Ash. Like, the instant this Ash comes out, like, you have a little bit of time, and you react pretty damn quick to it. If that ult just would have came out, like, a split second faster. Okay, man, not a split second, but a full second faster, you would have been able to catch her mid-flop, and you would have pushed her out, and it would have been perfect. That would have been amazing. The thing that would have been amazing about that is she couldn't have dashed in the middle of it to get her CC immunity, because she's mid-ult. Oh, man, that would have been so good. I'm going to focus on that Bomb King over on the right side. Use that well as a line of sight. Good job there. Your shields went on the Fernando, but I don't know if it's going to keep him alive long enough. That's not. He's going to get dropped. 10 seconds left. He's not going to be able to respawn fast enough to get back into the fight. You can try to go for it. That Bomb King just jump over your head. Straight Kobe.
Two, one.
No, not going to happen. So you're picking up resilience too, like that. I think what you're doing is fine. You have the Bomb King to worry about, but it's going to take too long to flank around and you don't have Master Riding because you have Chronos. Just make sure that if he throws it up on top, you can drop down low, and that actually gives you a little bit better angle to shoot while also being able to shield the rest of your team if they're kind of playing over on the left side of the arches. Yeah, high ground's always better, but if you're afraid of the Grumpy Bomb, might as well drop down. You'll be able to get off some good damage there. I'd like it if your whole team went there because your Pip has an ult, and there's a decent amount of resiliences on there, but a big chickening will allow you to guys push through, find a target, and if anything, just get the position of being able to high ground and huge damage being pushed in. Looks like your whole team's going over on the church side, and I think this is fine too. The biggest thing I just wanted to see was you guys pushing together, and sometimes that requires you to say, hey, team, let's push. But you guys were just kind of on the same page there, so that worked out. So far traded 1-for-1. Really good shield on that Pip. I like that kind of body blocking. Say, hey, you shall not pass. But your Pip did just die. You saw him die over on the left side, and the only one up right now is him. Whoever that is, doesn't matter. You got your people down right now. So I guess there's a Fernando there, but you probably are not going to win this. You guys are up on the capture point, so you're going to want to start backing off right now. Shield back away. If you die here, it's gonna be bad news, Bears. And they're just completely ignoring you, being at 1 life. Although now you're into the danger zone. You're such a sketchy predicament right now. You're getting healed up a little bit. Cauterizers are online, and it is a 4v4 right now. But the 4 of them are on the point, and the 4 of you aren't really there. You've got time to build up. I hope the Fernando doesn't push in right away because you need to wait for your team to come back. You need to wait for a little bit of chip damage to come out from your Lex or anybody. Ooh, that would have been close. Ult right away. Oh man, that's a perfect time to ult right there. Get that Barrack out of there. Don't let him heal with the healing station. Don't let that Ashe do anything. She'll probably waste her charge to eliminate anything like that. And then hell, the best case scenario, you knocked the Barrack out, you knocked everyone out from the push, and you got her dash down, and which knocks you out of the fight so you can heal up. But now you got knocked out. Pushing back onto the point's going to spell the death for you. Oh god, what's going to happen? Oh no, the shield went down. You know, he always wants a big hug, but no one ever seems to give him one. He's definitely have a chance here. This is most definitely winnable. Getting him off the point. A lot of resilience on the field. Good kill onto the Barrack. I would honestly use... I would have used my recharge right there. You just want that up as much as possible. There it is.
Enemy killing spree.
Probably not going to need the silence there on that Ashe because she's got her cooldowns down, but there's nothing really else to fight except for this Barrack. Might have been good to... so we couldn't delay so much with the shield, but I mean, that's like min-maxing, right? Good preemptive firing there, because you know that they're going to be coming up from the top side or left side. You haven't seen anybody run in through this right side. Big Grumpy Bomb, not good. That silence on the Genos makes so he can't right-click away. Or, sorry, not right-click, sorry. I always forget that I bind it to right-click. His heal's actually on his right-click, so that does technically mean he can't right-click. But he also can't do the dashy thingy. You know, dashy thingy, technical terms, etc., etc.
Where did I go wrong? Step into the light.
So, right there, like eating the Grumpy Bomb to be able to get on the point that much quicker with Resilience 2, I think was fine because the overtime was ticking down, and it would have been a perfect timing to get on there to make sure no one else could just keep trickling in, because all it takes is one person to trickle in and one of your people to maybe be a little bit low and get a little bit cocky, taunt, or just play a little bit farther forward than they should. They die. Then the trickling matters because you lost a teammate. Getting loadout was fine. Item choices, definitely fine. Overall, it's really not much to say about it. I mean, it was a pretty damn good Torvald gameplay, in my opinion. Just keep an eye out on your shields, making sure you recharge as much as possible. Your shield targets were good most of the time when they were taking damage, or a lot of good times when Lex was dashing in or for extending his butt off. You kind of gave him a little bit more health to survive, but not much to say about it, though. Most of the time, they were all good. And keep in mind that ults go through shields. You could have ulted the Barrack out of there. It wouldn't have been as much because he had Resilience too, but just to break up the opponents as they're pushing in, don't underestimate the ability to just ult people as they're going in and how much that discombobulates them and just kind of breaks them all up, and it really shuts them down as they're trying to retake. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Remember, if you want to submit your own gameplay, well, at the beginning of the video, I told you how to do it. We'll see you next time.
Hey, thanks for watching. I'm not gonna be one of those people who asks you to like and subscribe, so I'm not gonna ask.